To answer those questions, I'm being joined at the news at 10 now by the President of the Nigeria Wheelchair Basketball Association and the Chief Executive Officer of the newly constituted board of the Nigeria National League, Mr. Bukola Olopade. Thank you for joining us on the news at 10 tonight.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year, viewers.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. That's right. We're just seeing for the first time. 2016, we saw a lot of focus on football. And do you think that was all to the detriment of other sports?
Well, I mean, as a president of a sport that is considered a lesser sport, I would ordinarily have agreed with that statement. But the truth is, I've come to accept that fingers can never be equal. Football remains the flagship sport that brings our country together at every given time. It's the most important sport to our country. So I don't think so. I think what we need to focus more on is that we can also elevate the status of other sports according to their own different level and grades, not just ignoring the fact that these sports are in existence. Do
you feel that those other sports were ignored in 2016?
Always. I mean, look, we're talking about 2016. This happened in 2015, 2014. It will happen in 2017 until the mentality the National Sports Commission or the Ministry of Sports changes, and until the private sector starts to understand that there are so many lesser sports that can also give you mileage in terms of visibility, in terms of activation, in terms of how people project their products on those various platforms, until they start seeing the positive aspects of those other sports, we are just going to remain static, and lesser sports, as they call them, will continue to suffer.
I feel one of those lesser sports you're talking about is probably special athletics, which the athletes, whose athletes did very well in 2016, the 2016 Paralympics. What can be done to improve special sports in Nigeria?
Look, I've come to the station countless times to appeal to the world. Look, there are two things you get from supporting special people. One is God's blessing. Two is the fact that all the sports that are associated with the Paralympic movement are all very exciting sports. And the more we continue to ignore the sports, the more we continue to deprive the people who need the support the most. But guess what? It is this same aspect of sports, these same people that have brought the biggest and best laurels to our country that we celebrate only during Commonwealth years, All African Games, and at the Paralympics. Yeah. Nobody talks about them in the years in between those events. It's sad. We need to wake up and smell the morning coffee and realize that we cannot continue to pay lip service to special people across board, not only in sports. All our buildings are not wheelchair accessible, federal buildings, state buildings, and we need to change our attitude towards that.
And I'm going to turn back to one of the most popular sports in 2016, which was football. Now, league football is on the rise. How can we sustain that momentum?
We must. I thought we were going to talk about the negative and positives of 2016. One of the biggest positives of 2016 was the league management company headed by Shehu Diko, with the way the league has been managed, and the fact that a club side that is rooted in traditional football, clean football, devoid of crowd violence, devoid of approaching referees, Rangers International of Enugu won the league. How can we work a level on that? Look, I've been made the CEO of the league that is arguably the most important league in the country, because that's the league that bridges the amateur cadre and the elite cadre. We need to leverage on what the LMC have done and surpass it. The private sector, people in the private sector, they've seen now that there are men and women of integrity that can handle these sports and elevate the status of these sports to the level that there will be trust, mutual trust between one another. I'm not losing hope, because when you look at the Lagos City Marathon, for example, a lot of sponsors are supporting that aspect of sports. It simply means there's some sort of confidence flowing from the private sector now towards sports. We need to continue to talk more. We need to trust one another and just see how sports can continue to be a veritable tool of empowerment for our young people, men and women.
Are these your projections for solutions to sports, both the ones that have been ignored and the ones that are the most popular in 2017?
What are my projections? Well, my projection will still be based on the attitude of administrators and businesses towards the support to this. But look, there is no magic that you can perform when sports are not well prepared for competitions. Until we start to understand that there must be proper planning, there must be support across board, there is no way you can be expecting something based on nothing. You cannot go to the farm to plant corn and expect yam to be harvested at the end of the day. Unfortunately, that is where we are today.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's still early on in the year. Hopefully, those who should be are listening to you right now.
I'm a pathological optimist. I believe 2017 will be good for us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bukola Olopade.
Always a pleasure.
Bukola Olopade, the president of the Nigeria Wheelchair Basketball Association and the chief executive officer of the newly constituted board of the Nigeria National League.